Hello all. I thought I'd come back to this one trail that I was on the other day where it winds in and out of the city, and I wasn't able to finish because of the fire smoke. I had to leave. Speaking of that, the long-term forecasters for California are saying that we will stay in fire danger for the entire month of November and possibly most of the month of December in the southern half of the state for fire danger. In other words, there is no winter this year, it doesn't look like. Beautiful, clear, warm skies. We're about 71 right now. It's supposed to be 80 today. Okay, let's just get into some of the headlines and talk about some of this. 11,000 scientists have endorsed the world is facing a climate emergency. It only took them this long to finally endorse climate emergency. And with that, the U.S. is starting the process of exiting the UN Climate Accord. So how are we doing with alternative energy versus fossil fuel? For the last decade, solar and wind have taken 37% of the electricity market. However, fossil fuel use in 2018 is 28 times bigger than alternatives. Oh, and another headline, global temperatures in October have been 0.69 C or 1.25 Fahrenheit warmer than just last year's October, and it's that much higher than the average October. But that's not all. 20 out of the last 22 years have been the hottest on record. I think there's a clue there, huh? Another new study says that if emissions continue in the way that they are today, a spike to between 6.5 and 7 C above pre-industrial levels will happen by 2100. In other words, we're dead by then. That'd be too hot. That would, 6.5. That's way too hot. So how bad was the wildfire season this year? Well, some numbers are coming in. In the EU, wildfires destroyed 178,000 hectares of forest in 2018. Okay, we're gonna head up this way. It's getting a little warm. It's time to get more into what the weather's like. No need to sit here and swelter. I think there's somebody coming towards that direction. There shouldn't be any people down here. This is pretty remote as far as the city goes, and it's pretty early in the morning. But let's continue on and see where this path leads. Looks a bit steep here. I'm sure we can figure it out. So, one thing about being an outdoors person, you end up wandering into a lot of homeless shelters. And San Francisco is going through a homeless crisis like it's never seen before. No matter where you go, you can hear the hammering and the little emergency huts being built for the winter all throughout any green space. Even in Marin County, which is way up north of here. Well, it's not way up. It's about a 2.5 hour bicycle ride north of here. And even there, homeless in every place you can imagine. If the plants will cover you up, you put a homeless shelter in there now. The U.S. is really dropping the ball on helping its poor. They're making things worse and worse with the Orange Man. For an example, here in California, he says that the governor needs to take care and fix the fire problem in California. You'd have to change climate change to do that. So, the orange idiot in the White House says, well, because the governor's so bad, a Democrat, that they're going to take the federal funds that's used for wildfires here in the western states away from California. Now, let me get this straight. Just a few months ago, the Orange offered Russia help, free help with their wildfires. Now, California, because they didn't rake their forests, how do you rake millions and millions of acres of forest? And what good would that do? The guy is a nutcase. Well, there are many, many psychiatrists saying this, but yet almost 50% of this country want him in for a second term. It's not the only person who's insane. Half the U.S. is insane. How could there be one person for the orange idiot? By the way, whenever he's doing one of his little Hitler rallies, the other side is now coming out and protesting against it, showing that there is a different side. Man, we are headed to some very, very interesting places from now on, both in climate change and in politics. Each country keeps on putting in right-wing leaders. All of this is looking bad. The worst Star Trek coming true. All the little people will be doing hard labor while the wealthy enjoy life while we take care of them. It's the way it sure looks. I don't mean to be so pessimistic, but what is. I'm gonna head out and continue on with this trail. It looks more like August or early September. Take a look at what the fog is doing. That's very September-like. Just got to get up this one spot here. So the only thing I can think of is why we're not paying attention to anything important and doing something about it is because nature's way of depopulating an overpopulated species might be to cause insanity, and they just wipe each other out, and then everything gets to go back to normal the fastest that way. We do have the brain and the capability of changing what we do and how we do it, but I don't know, we don't seem to want to. So I appreciate all the ups, the downs, the new subscribers, and until next time.